Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from LoyMachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo and Think Person Branding? All right, I just got this bit of breaking news that I wanted to share with you. It's from Bloomberg, and the title is Dubai Bank, Mashreq, may move nearly half its jobs to cheaper hubs. And the date is January 6th, 2021. Now, this was something that I shared with you last year. I don't know which video specifically, but I told you last year that this was the strategy that they were moving forward. And I said it around 2 or 3 times last year. And I also made it known that, this is because I not only know the people in the banking industry, but also it's a very simple process. If you have been in the Middle East or you've been in Dubai for as long as I have, you'd know for a fact that this is the strategy they adopt. They take action, they terminate people, but they don't mention it or they don't share it publicly. It is only after a couple of months have passed by and things are kind of coming back to normal do they announce, okay, fine, we have actually terminated. And one more thing is, let's say, for example, there are 100 people working. They terminated, let's say, 50. That is, for example, 1st of January. They would not mention it on 1st of January or the first week of January. They would say something around in June. And instead of, let's say, if they terminated 100 people's jobs, they would say that we terminated something around like 12 or 15 or 20. They would not say the actual. The reason being is they wish to save face. They wish to keep the value of the brand. They wish to, not devalue or show vulnerability. This is something that companies in UAE have at least followed. I do not know about other countries, but I can tell you in UAE, they want to save face and they want to show, especially in line with Sheikh Mohammed's strategy of showing a visionary outlook, or nothing can touch us, or we are always ready to bounce back and we will face all adversity. So that's the kind of image that they want to keep. So even Mashreqbank, as far as I can recollect, I think it was in May last year that I told you that this process was already taking place. So I guess now may be a good time that they have shared it openly. Okay. So then what it says is the lender to lower pay for working staff permanently from home. Jobs may be moved to India, Egypt, or Pakistan to save costs. This I know for a fact because the employees who have been sent off, they got in touch with me. Okay. So here it says Mashreqbank PSC, Dubai's third biggest lender, plans to move nearly half of its employees to cheaper locations and allow some others to work from home as a part of dramatic reorganization that will spare its Emirati staff, according to people familiar with the matter. Okay, another thing which I want you to know that Mashreq is one of the most ruthless employers when it comes to terminating people. For example, if they were to terminate you, they do not give you your salary. They do not release the salary. They do not release the gratuity. In fact, they don't even allow you to access your bank account until everything has been cleared. All the loans have been paid. All the expenses have been, deducted. Only after that, once they get the green signal, they allow you to do that. Now, it can even take up to 3 months. And in some cases, I've known, I think, 3 or 4 cases where they did not release for months. Now, they didn't get in touch with me again, so I do not know what happened to them. But I know for a fact that this has been the problem. And in some cases, let's say, for example, if a complaint was put that you're bad-mouthing the bank or the employer or your boss, or there's a bad record, then you absolutely get jacked. And this is from people who have worked there, which I know firsthand. So it says here, the oldest privately owned bank in United Arab Emirates notified employees this week that it will be shifting jobs to locations including India, Egypt, or Pakistan, the people said, asking not to be identified because the information isn't public. By the way, Mashreqbank was pretty famous for its Mashreq millionaire. Those days, they were like a runaway success. The thing about these banks is when they're making money, when they're minting left, right, and center, I mean, they like to show like they're invincible, and they did pay good commissions. They did pay good commissions, but Mashreq was not among those very popular banks. In fact, when Citibank was letting go of its staff, Mashreq Bank tried to encroach on most of its people. Okay, but Mashreq is a hard taskmaster. They make you work literally like slaves. Okay, the hours are very inhuman, and the target pressure is really bad. If 3 months you do not achieve your target, you're terminated. So people are under tremendous pressure in Mashreq Bank. Okay. Mashreq will also eliminate a significant number of existing roles and create new positions for staff, moving to what it calls centers of excellence. They said, see these terms, centers of excellence, and it's all centers of fuck all, nonsense. Okay, it's not centers of excellence. I would call it more like sweatshops, like how Nike has sweatshops where they make these poor people work inhuman hours. But people have no choice because if they want a job and they want to earn money, they don't have a choice. So it's not as per international standards. It's based on the standards which are acceptable in the country. So if Bangladesh, let's say, has pretty inhuman standards of working, they will be subject to those kind of ways and means, especially because they have to keep their costs down. So uh, they're trying to make it sound really nice, centers of excellence, but it's more like centers where you work like a slave, same way. Okay. The bank didn't immediately respond to an email seeking comment, which they will not. Mashreq and its subsidiaries employed more than 5,000 people as of September 2019. um, I they have not mentioned how many they terminated. Okay. As the pandemic transforms how and where people work, the planned move is an echo of a shift by other financial firms that are looking to set up bases in lower cost locations. In the US, companies from Goldman Sachs Group to Paul Singer's Elliott Management Corp have looked outside Manhattan and bulked up their presence in Florida. Well, you cannot compare the companies in the United States to what is happening in the Middle East, because in the Middle East there are no human rights. They do not treat you like human beings. They treat you more like slaves. Okay, that is why there is a racist behavior pattern that an Emirati is far more superior than a non-Emirati. A British or American, a white passport holder with a white skin is much more, a greater, better, smarter than an Indian. And in a way, I kind of blame Indians also, because Indians have this tendency, yes sir, no sir, they kiss the ass and all that. And Indians, to be honest with you, Indians themselves are the most racist in the world. Around being an Indian passport holder, I can tell you this. They themselves, when they see a white skin, yes sir, no sir, they nod their head, and if they themselves get a passport which is a foreign passport, then they start acting like they are God's gift to mankind. In fact, many of them, they change their colors the minute they earn a big position or they earn a lot of money. And that is why I have a lot of contempt and kind of dislike for these Indians, especially like my ex boss who was in Citibank. Her let's say, I will not expose who she is. This Indian lady, her name is starting with J, the alphabet J. She used to be a typical housewife, uh, who, if she had to be nice with someone, she would be nice. But because money got to her head, she thought no end of herself. Absolute like a fucking bitch. So, and these people were the right people at the right place at the right time. When the banking industry was booming, when credit cards were being sold like, you're just giving peanuts, just free, you're just distributing them like crazy. Commissions were very high. So these people enjoyed a great deal of success, money, and positions of power. And they kind of abused it in some ways, and they kind of thought no end of themselves. They thought they were really talented, gifted, special people. So they really, that is why I don't feel sorry for them, that even if they do lose their job, they kind of deserve it because they acted like assholes. But then again, it's not like I'm feeling very happy. Yes, you got fucked, ha ha ha. But then you kind of deserve it because you acted like a fuckhole. You acted like a fuckhole human being. So I don't feel sorry for these people, but at the same time, I don't wish them bad. If bad does come, it is because, when you're at the right place at the right time, you're enjoying good stuff. Now your luck ran out, so you face the music. Okay, so these bankers who enjoyed big positional power, from Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank to Emirates Bank to Mashreqbank, they're going to get fucked. They're not going to have those positions of power. They're not going to enjoy those big commissions. They're not going to enjoy these big bonuses that they enjoyed. Now they'll just hold on to their jobs because they know if they go back home, they don't have anything. So they are expensive holidays, they are expensive properties, whatever they're showing off. Well, that's the end of an era. Now, if they have saved the money and had purchased a house back home and 2, 3 properties, good luck to them. Good for them. They don't have to, dance to anyone's tunes. But then again, let's hope that everyone was smart. Okay. Then lenders around the world have cut thousands of jobs as they slash costs to weather an economic downturn, especially the companies that were focusing on greed and excessive expansion, like bankers who are enjoying big bonuses, then oil and gas companies, and especially companies like the travel industry that was paying big salaries and all that. So they'll get badly jacked. Banks in the Gulf expatriate-dominated economies additionally have had to contend with a period of lower oil prices and weaker profitability. While shifting back office operations to cities where salaries are a fraction of what bankers earn in the UAE isn't entirely new, the scale of the planned shift by Mashreq is sizable. I told you last year, I think somewhere in June, May or June, that 80% of the bankers would lose their job. You can check one of the videos. I don't even remember because I put so many. So 80% is going to, now I can tell you up to 90% will lose their jobs. And I'm talking 90% of the high income groups. So even if they do employ people, which they are, it's at, I think, 60% less salary, but at almost the same or double the work. So you can just do the math. Okay, some employees will permanently allowed to operate remotely in offshore centers, people said. The company is planning to lower salaries for an additional 7% of its remaining UAE staff by turning those jobs into work from home positions. Here, one note that I'll give you is unless you're an industry expert and unless you have really positioned yourself as a brand whereby people know your name and your reputation precedes you, then you can negotiate a good salary. Otherwise, you're going to get fucked. And especially these people who have come with foreign passports, Indians with British passports or Australian passports, American passports, or whatever fat salaries they were enjoying, they're going to have a very tough time. In fact, I know one guy who, I think 81,000 or 85,000. This is last year he got in touch with me. Can you believe the guy, 85,000 dirham salary? He told me he doesn't have money to pay me for my services. Even just a consulting, almost $200, he doesn't even have the money to pay me because of the loans that he has taken and the lifestyle that he lived. So that's why I tell you, even if you earn a very big salary, but you're not saving anything, it's useless. So savings is what matters. And I've always told you this. This is something I learned the tough way. Okay. The relocation plans is expected to be completed 3 phases by October this year. No, it's already being done. I do not know why they're saying October this year. I think by the time they reach October, 90% would have been done and dusted. The changes exclude Mashreq's Emirati employees. Well, Emiratis need to enjoy a fat salary, so they'll not terminate. And this is not because the banks don't want to terminate them. It's the instructions of the ruling family because they want citizens to support them. They don't want any uprising. So as long as citizens get their money, free money, big money, they are not going to say anything. So remember, it's money talks, nothing else. So even if, there was a saying, I don't know how far it's true, even if they chop your ears off and they destroy people you love, but the minute they give you big money and food and everything else, most people will keep quiet because that is the sheep mentality. Anyway, I'm not gloating over the fact that these people have lost their jobs, but the simple reason being is I'm not going to benefit in any way. My salary is not going to increase. My income is not going to increase by these people suffering. But then again, I would just say that I hope they have a plan B, plan C, plan D, whatever. And I hope they succeed because end of the day, if they don't have savings, they don't have a strategy, you're going to get fucked. So let me know, what do you think? Let me know, what are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. And if any one of you has to share any confidential information, please feel free. And this is me signing off. You guys take care.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.